If you've been following along at home, you know that today is Whiteboard Wednesday, especially if you're good at identifying patterns. And we're all good at identifying patterns. Sometimes we create patterns even when they don't exist. That's a topic for another conversation. So Whiteboard Wednesday, let's go to the whiteboard. We're going to go ahead and clean some things up here a little bit. Actually, over here in Outreach, I failed yesterday. I only hit 11 outreaches to existing contacts. I missed on new. I'm going to add that back up to the whiteboard so we can keep track of that as we go through the course of the week and the course of the next couple of days. So Tanner Brock, who you know I'm a fan of, and the work that he and Chip are doing with changing discourse. I've been on their podcast a couple of times. Yesterday he posted a video on LinkedIn about the importance of pausing before you proceed. Check out the video. It's related to holding effective meetings. I want to use the whiteboard to highlight a couple of things that we should be thinking about when holding effective meetings. Number one, who is going to be in the room? Who's going to be in the room? Who are the participants? Who will be there? What are their objectives? What are their objectives? What do we know about what they want to accomplish? A lot of this stuff we're going to have to anticipate depending on who's going to be in the room and what the level of knowledge and how many different people are in there. But we want to know who's going to be in the room, what are their objectives, get these listed out. Pardon me. The next thing we want to do is talk about our objectives. So what do we want to accomplish in the meeting? If I'm going to lead a meeting, I should have a clear set of objectives. If we're going to bring together a group of people, there should be a clear set of objectives. So what are our objectives? Anticipate their objectives and understand what are the desired next steps. What do we want the actions to be as a result of the meeting? If we don't know what we want the result of the actions to be as a result of the meeting, then should we really even be having the meeting? Do we want people thinking differently? Do we want people engaging in a different way? Do we want people creating something? What are the actual desired next steps? So who's going to be in the room? How do we anticipate their objectives? What are our objectives? And what are the desired next steps? This is a call plan. It is not an agenda. I'm going to say that again. It's a call plan. It's not an agenda. This is a plan that we're putting together so that we can put ourselves in a position where we can set expectations with the people on the other end and start executing against those. So on the other side, we want to put together our agenda. And from an agenda perspective, here's how I kind of think of agendas. There's going to be an introduction, likely, especially if it's the first time we're meeting people. We might talk about roles. If we're not meeting people, it might be, just if there are no new people, then this is just going to be the general, let's break the ice type conversation, and not to do, what's your favorite color or any of or draw pictures up on a whiteboard, but break the ice conversation, get things going. Then let's validate why we're here. So, hey, here are some things we wanted to accomplish from our objectives. We anticipate these are your objectives. Let's validate why we're here. Then let's move into a discussion around them. What's changed inside their organization, especially if we're dealing with a client, them, what's happening on their side. Next, we want to get into us. And ideally, it's us in the context of what we know about them. Many times we talk about us first, and we miss an opportunity to connect the dots between what's important, what we're talking about, what we think is important, and how that relates to them. So get them talking about themselves first, then we get into the us, and then let's move into next steps. So anyhow, this is just a basic agenda, general call plan. If we take the time to put this stuff together on our whiteboards, draw it out, get together a couple of note cards where we can go ahead and document things, your meetings will be much more effective and you'll get to those next steps a lot faster. Thank you.